What's up, y'all? What up, though? It's your boy T. Smith here. Welcome you to another episode of the TSM podcast. TSM was created to train, support, and minister. To train your mind, support your goals, and minister to your vision. We are in season 3, kicking things off. We are down here in Detroit, the city that made me and raised me. Over on the west side of Lobster and Finker at Frank's on Fico. Shout out to Big Frank. What's up, big dog? You doing all right? Good seeing you, big homie. We doing it big. I got with me the baddest DJ in the Midwest. I got shout out to DJ Cool Breeze. What's up, Breeze? How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, dog. A little tired from working hard yesterday, but when you tired of me, you made some money.
You was DJing?
You know this. Shout out to Plugged In Collection. We had an all-black pop-up yesterday for the
I heard you talking about that. Talk about that for a bit.
All-black vendors. We had food. We had merchants had how can I put that? They had special goods, specialty goods.
Okay.
You know, herbs. Special
I'm about to say
herbs.
plants that grow on the ground.
Yeah.
Hey, he talking about weed, y'all. I know I go to church and stuff, but it's a plant. It grows in the ground. And if you just happen to set it on fire, there are some effects. Okay, go ahead.
But we had that going on. My clothing line, Queer Inc., we had our stuff out there. It was a good vibe. It was cool. Black folks out there kicking it. We had good food, good vibes. You know what's up.
That's what's up, bro.
We was right in the Boston Edison district.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that. That's what's
dope.
up, bro. Yeah, shout out to y'all. If y'all need a DJ, y'all need somebody to do your podcast, all of that stuff. Look him up. Shout out him. You know, look him up on Instagram at Book Cool Breeze.
My man.
You know, I got to do him, a solid. Before he does it, he going to shout himself out at least 3 times this
I'm like
episode.
Jello. I'm just filling in the cracks, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Now, see, all right, I'm gonna just move on. I'm going to move on. I got with me my big brother. I got my ace, like my actual big brother. Y'all know I got quite a few brethren, right? A lot of guys.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? I got a few guys that really have helped me get to where I'm at. You feel me? And I always shout them out. But this right here, this is my ace. This is my big brother. Same mama, same mama and daddy.
Hey,
you know,
right,
you got to make that clear.
That in there,
you
man,
got
please.
to throw that in there today. Same mama and same daddy.
Hey,
you feel me?
keeping it real.
I got with me my big bro Tone, aka JR, in the building. What's up, big bro? How you
What's
feeling,
going on,
bro?
man? I'm feeling good, dude.
We was at his crib yesterday, man. Listen to me. This man, I watched where he came from. You know what I'm saying? Like we both went through stuff. We both came obviously from the same place, cut from the same cloth. We both been in the exact same environments. We both made a pact when I was 7, he was 8. He a year and a half older than me. We said when we make it out, we coming back. You feel me? Yeah. We told ourselves that. Man. We said when we make it out, we both had guns held to our stomach. We like, when we make it out, we coming back. We not about to be these people. Y'all heard me talk about last week. I'm not a fan of people that lead a hood and then bash the hood from a distance without doing anything to invest into it. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a rapper claiming South Central LA, but you live in Beverly Hills.
That's right.
Talking about Crunch. You know what I'm saying? You ain't there no more. Right. You trying to make it seem, you're trying to make the people there feel like they can be embraced by the culture of everything you're speaking on when you're just not there. And it's like I ain't got nothing against anybody that made it out, but when you made it out, be sure to give back. Be sure to make that place better than when you found it. So that's exactly what my bro doing. But what's up, big dog? He got a nice new crib. I will get an address just to make him mad. Just so everybody can pop up at his new big crib, stupid crib. Dog making stupid money. I'm like, we pulling up.
Right.
You feel me? Like people gonna pull up. I might, just be listening throughout the show. I'm gonna give like random digits, and at the end of the episode, put them all together.
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Put them all together, dog. So he ain't gonna know. I'm gonna just randomly be like, so you know when 4 and I saw 2. He getting
you playing too much. That's all right. Y'all can pull up. This black man is armed. All right.
He just got that Wakanda force field around
Don't
his
even
crib.
You know what I'm saying?
Try it if you want to.
Try it if you want to.
Nah, I ain't gonna do him like that. But what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We trying to stay cool out here now.
Yeah, for real.
Detroit trying to feel like that heat kicking up now, boy.
Oh man, it's 90
Man,
every
what?
day.
Yeah, we got that 90 out here now.
Man, when they say they're supposed to be in the 90s all week too, I'm talking all week.
We getting something.
All week. Keep on talking about slave heat if y'all want to. And watch it just watch the sun just sit there and smile at us without a cloud in sight. keep on talking about it if you want to. I need this weather to chill just for a bit, because you already know I ain't really that much of an outside person. Only because I hate when my body cry. That's what I call sweating. I hate when my body just start crying for no absolute reason. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm like, nah, let me Let me get some AC. Let me be in the crib. Let me chill for a bit. I ain't for this heat. I ain't for it.
Man, this heat ain't no joke, bro. And as a DJ, man, I gotta go DJ again today. It's no joke. I was at the mansion yesterday and it was hot, man. I was up there. I was upstairs. It was hot, hot, man. I played Nelly. It's getting hot in here. It was like, it was going with what was going on. I'm a vibe creator, so that was the vibe. It was hot. So, hey, y'all, cut the AC on and make sure when you put the ceiling fan on, you put it the right direction. You know, it's a certain direction for the winter,
man.
A certain direction for the
listen,
summer.
I saw this post on Facebook that was like, you ever been to somebody's house and they ceiling fan just look like it's raging death, and you the only person that got a problem with it?
It's about to fall.
That just like, you see how these good, these solid, but when that pole just like hanging super far down and this doing this like a tilt-a-whirl, like you at Cedar Point or something, like, no, I ain't.
Like, listen,
I ain't about to be around for this, bro.
I just be a little hot.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll sweat. You know what? I'll sweat. Cut that off. I ain't with that. But y'all, I've been, y'all know where I'm at. I've been looking at their feet. I can't help it but judge people by their shoes. Judge your mama. That's what I do. I look at shoes. I love shoes. I see Breeze got on them 13s.
You know me.
I see you.
I know you got a pair.
I see you.
You got
Yeah. I
LeBrons on.
got some
I know what I'm
13s.
looking
I
at.
got some. Yeah, I'll show. Show the fans I
He
got
said,
my.
I don't have a problem.
I got no problem. I'll show
I
my.
don't have a problem
You
with
got the Flint 13s. I got the
Yeah.
Soldier 13s.
Yeah.
These my bronze Black History Month edition. These one of my favorite pair of shoes. I got these, Darian. I got these in 2017 when I was down in Morehouse. You don't get no more black than being at an HBCU in Atlanta in February.
Some Black
In
History
Black
Month
History
shoes.
Month. That's like blackity of all black. I couldn't help. I saw these. I had a plug down there. Shout out to my plug. I still had to shout him out. I saw those and I was like, yeah, I got to grab these.
The only other thing you could have did was throw up the Wakanda Forever sign when you got them.
That was about it. You know,
That
throw on the
would've
dashiki.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe a
call
black-
Chadwick Boseman, have him pull
Yep,
up
maybe a
so
black-
that people can see I look better than him. You know what I'm saying?
A leather jacket and a
You know what
beret.
I'm saying?
You know, all of that. You could have went that route.
I could have. I really could have.
you'd
Bro, I
have made the
see.
black
I see.
impossible.
Tone got them 720s on.
See, you know me. I'm all about comfortability. So for me,
Tone, he a Max head
Shoes,
though.
shoes,
Show him off. Show
it
him off.
just gotta be-
Tone
it
a
just
Max.
gotta be-
He always been a fan of the
I
Maxes.
got
Like
Nice.
every Air
Always
Max
been a
possible.
fan
of-
You know,
yeah.
You know, put some people like the J's.
He a
they
Max
got what they
head.
got. For me, it's all about the Maxes. Maxes is comfortable. That
Yeah.
that's for me. So for me,
Buyout.
Maxes. That's it
best
right
year
there.
the
That's all I
Maxes.
need.
But just real quick, that's what makes the sneaker world go round, man. Everybody like different stuff because, like, you be wearing stuff that I'll be like, wow, I wouldn't even. That's not my thing. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Right.
And I got what I like. I'm into like cross trainers and
Yeah.
neons and stuff with straps.
Mm-hmm.
That's my joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you, all Air Maxes. I got a few pair, but I'm
Now,
mostly
now,
like,
see, because I've been to
all
your
of
crib and I seen like your J collection. Do you got like a favorite
Nine.
style?
nines.
The nines.
The nines.
Bet.
The nines.
Like I say, you know true sneakerheads when they know the actual name and frame of the shoe. If you
Nine.
just tell me the color, I'm gonna be like, bro, cool. You got shoes, but you're not a head.
No,
you're not a
nines,
head.
Those are my favorite. I got about 4 or 5 different pairs.
That's what's up.
Those are my joints.
See.
That's what's up. Yeah, I just I just started getting into them, but I'm Nike. I'm Team Nike all the way. Unless anybody else want to sponsor your boy.
Right.
There you go.
We need to come out with our own.
Unless anybody else,
Shameless.
unless anybody else want to sponsor your boy, I'm gonna go ahead and keep supporting Nikes because Nike's always had my back. I
we
ain't
need
never
to
had
come
an
out with
issue with
them
Nike.
with our own shoes, man. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We do. And I'm talking our own, like, authentic shoe. Not these advertisements you see on Instagram that be the knockoff Yeezys. You know what I'm saying? Like, them knockoff Balenciagas. Like, I'm like, bro, can you just come up with your own shoe? They take that reflector stripe off of the Yeezys and think that they can just sell it. You know what I'm saying? And it's always on sale. Click now. Click now, bro. You've been saying click now for 3 weeks. Ain't nobody buying these.
You like the Yeezys?
Huh?
You like the Yeezys?
I like the Yeezys, yeah.
You got a pair?
Yeah, I got a pair. I got a few pair.
Okay.
Do I wear them? Not okay. To be fair, I bought these in 2017, and this may be my 5th or 6th time wearing them. I'm a sneakerhead that hate wearing shoes, bro. I legit wear slides
Yeah, you with those slides on
everywhere,
all day.
bro.
That's
I'm a
what-
sneakerhead
Slide.
that hate
That's
wearing
it. Slide film all
shoes,
day.
bro. Like first, it was from running track. He know when you take them spikes off. You don't want to put your foot into anything else, bro. You just don't. Then when I got out of the Marines, I'm like, bro, I wore boots every single day for 5 years straight. My toes would go numb. So I'm just like, bro, I got all of these shoes, but I hate wearing them.
Right.
I'm so
That's
weird.
real. That's
I am
real.
so weird. But yeah, you right. I would a good day for me is exactly what Breeze got on with some slides. That's it. I'm going to the store.
Right.
I'm gonna get some gas. I could pull up on somebody. That's like the ultimate
though?
world of comfort.
That's what's up.
That's the ultimate world of comfort. But y'all, we gonna jump right into this this week. Me and my bro, we have been talking separately. Breeze, you and I had already been talking about this too. But I wanted to talk a bit about investments, because one thing, like we said, me and my bro, me and JR, we told ourselves back when we was kids, back when we were still over on the east side of Detroit, we were like, when we make it out, we're coming back. Like this, where we came from, the block that we came up on, they will know who we are. Like, that's a bet. That's a promise. You could take that to the bank and cash that check, because I promise you, they gonna feel the impact. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wanted us to talk about what investments truly look like, because I don't think people understand the reward of investments is worth the risk of investment. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people talk about investing, and I'm like, that's not really investing. You didn't have to leap out on faith to do that. And investment, there's no true. You can have an expectation, but the only way to truly know if you're going to get a return on that investment is if you go out on that limb with that investment.
Put skin in
You
the
know what
game,
I'm
as
saying?
they say.
Yeah, investment ain't always got to be money. We know when we talk investments, we think it's always about money. It doesn't always have to be money. There are so many ways, so many things you can do to actually invest in the things, to invest in yourself, to invest in your family, to invest in your community. Shoot, I'm investing into my great grandkids right now, kids that I may not ever see, but I promise you I got money going to people that I have no idea are even here right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting money away for my kids that I don't have any kids, but my kids will have at least a set amount of money for school, with or without a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? You getting up out my house. I ain't forcing you out, but I promise you I'm gonna give you some money to get on your way. Me and your mama, we got some unfinished business, you know, so you're gonna have to get on about the way. But I know that in our community it's hard to want to invest. But for me and my bro, when I'm driving up and down Finkel, I used to live on Stout. When I drive down Stout and I see boarded up houses, I'm like, bro, easy investment. You know what I'm saying? Get into real estate, take a couple courses, buy that house, buy back that block, because there's nothing more strange to me than the fact that we're getting upset that we're getting pushed out of our own community. Like, I see more whites in these historically black neighborhoods than I see blacks, and they're getting upset. And I'm like, you're not buying back your own block. You're the one selling your grandmama house. You know what I'm saying? You are the master of your own fate. Like, truly, that's not just a statement. That's a fact. So I wanted us to take some time to actually talk about investment, because investment, first and foremost, starts with yourself. So what did you do to really start investing in yourself, to get from where you were, where we both started up, to where you are right now? Got a good position, working for the city of Detroit. I'll let you go into that. He is phenomenal at what he does.
About to be the mayor, right?
He might as well. Mike Duggan got him in his back pocket. Like, he is like, they are like this. And so I just wanted him to expound on, you know, obviously whatever he can, because I know it's all discretionary, but anything that you can elaborate on, man. Tell me about what led you to start investing in yourself.
So the biggest thing with investing that people got to understand is that even with self-investment, it works kind of like how the stock market works. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people invest and expect to see that big boom, you know, that big boom factor where you get something immediately and you see the results immediately. That's not the way investments work. And that's even within yourself. So within yourself, you have to realize is that when you take the time to really cultivate what it is that you want to do, whether it's your purpose, whether it's your family, your goals, your visions, whatever it is that you have set before you, you got to understand that that's going to take time. So the work that you're doing now, it takes patience, man. That's the biggest thing I can tell anybody, is that if you commit to really investing in yourself, have the patience to see it through. Because it's not going to be something that, you know, it's like with you, right? It's like when you're working out at the gym. You don't have a client that comes in that says, hey, I need to lose 15 pounds. They come and have one training session with you, and then they out the door the next day because they say, I didn't lose them 15 pounds. What's the first thing you're going to tell them? First thing you're going to tell them is it takes time.
Yeah.
The process that you're putting in place now is going to work itself out over the course of days, weeks, months, years. This isn't something that just happens overnight. So that's the same thing. So for me, what I had to do is I had to put myself in the position to where I stopped beating myself up because I didn't match a certain level that I seen other people at. And in this day of social media, that's kind of the biggest problem that we have, is that we put ourselves in the position of, well, I see somebody else had this same business, right? And instead of reaching out to them to find out what it is that they did to get to where they are, we take what we see. We take that little small snippet of what it is that they're doing now and don't realize all of what they had to go through to get to that point. Because what you have to realize is that your present self, let me see if I can put this. Your present self is literally a construct of everything that you've went through in the past. That's the best way to put it. Who you are today is literally a combination of everything that you went through in the past.
Facts.
That's negative investments, that's positive investments, that's your experiences, bad experiences, trauma, whatever it is. Who you are today is literally a construct of everything that you've gone through. So you can't so much look at yourself and say, oh, you know what, where I am right now, this isn't where I want to be, but you're not doing anything to invest into yourself to get there. So for me, what I had to do is I had to narrow down on, okay, and say, you know what, I'm going to focus on this. This is something that I want to accomplish. I need to go 100% at this. Because what happens is a lot of people, they talk about, oh, yeah, well, I'm doing this. I'm moving. I'm making moves. I'm shooting this. I'm doing that. But if you're not honing in on one thing, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, the way I look at it is, you can have 5 different things going on. And if one of those things, and if all of those things has 15, 20% of your attention while you're trying to build it, 9 times out of 10, something is lacking. At the end of the day, I don't care what you say, how you want to put it, something is lacking. So you're better off kind of saying, okay, you know what? Perfect this first. Master whatever it is that you want to master first, and then that way you can filter out, because you only have so much time in the day. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna need you to stay right there and Breeze. I'm gonna have you jump in on this too, because of the profession that you in. But I really want to stay right there for a bit, because that's the epitome of the phrase being a jack of all trades but a master of none.
Exactly.
You're a jack of all trades, but you a master of not a doggone one of them. You think that it's easy to just be like, yeah, I got this going on, I got this going on. You always on Facebook and Twitter. You feel me? I'm making moves. I got this going on. You got your hand. You know what I'm saying? You got your hand in so many pockets that you never took the time to perfect one of them.
Exactly.
So you lack in every single one of them because you didn't focus on one of them. So talk right there. What's that process to actually focus in on one, to say, let me get this one up to speed first? I know everybody want to have a bunch of stuff going on. I know a bunch of people want to work a 9 to 5, have a business, do some investments, get into real estate, you know what I'm saying, and then have a marriage on the side, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you got so much going on, you can't focus on all of it. You ain't got but 2 hands. But I just wanted you to chime in like right there, to just, you know, stay right there for a bit to actually talk about that process. What's that process to actually say, I need to focus on one. I need to get all the gears aligned with this one. I need to be firing on all cylinders with this one before I do anything else.
Right. So what that looks like is, it looks like sacrifice, man. That's literally what it comes down to. It comes down to you be willing to make the necessary sacrifices to see your way through one process. That means something has to go without. You know what I'm saying? So that means, hey, if that means that I can't, you know, I got to cut out time with my friends for right now because I need to spend this extra 2 hours to make sure that I'm reading on what it is that I said I'm going to do, that I'm studying, that I'm, you know, reaching out, making connections, networking with different people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what, family, I would love to come out and drink with you today, but you know what? It's a networking event that I know I need to go to. I need to be there rather than being here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? I see what's going on at home. My family is lacking. I haven't spent much time with my family. So you know what? Instead of me putting all of my time into my business, you know what? Let me put a little more time into my family. Because what I had to realize is, you know, one of the mistakes that I made early in my career was spending so much time of trying to make sure that I had everything lined up for my family. But the most important piece that I was missing was my time. Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I spent so much time, and I literally told my daughter this before, is that presents mean nothing without my presence. I can get you all the gifts in the world.
Say that again.
Like that's the way you have to look at it. And as men, we don't, we've been taught so much to do X, Y, and Z, taught so much that, you got to go, that a man is only a reflection of what he's given his family. But at the end of the day, your presence is probably the biggest thing that you can do. Because what good does it do for me to have given my family all the wonders in the world and I'm not there to experience it with them? What good is it for me to have moved my family into the place in the home that they dreamed of being in and I'm not there to experience it with them? It's cool that they got it, but I'm the one that I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? That piece is missing. So you can't poke it's all about balance, right? You have to be willing to balance, but make the necessary sacrifices to put yourself in a position to where you can make that balance. Because at the end of the day, a sacrifice is I got to pull myself off of this because I see that this is lacking. I got to pull myself out of this situation because I see that, hey, you know what? I spent a lot of time with my friends this week. I was sociable, but now this week, let me pull it back. Let me go ahead and focus on this. Let me read. Let me study. And that's the biggest thing that that our generation doesn't is I read this before that it said we used to think that the lack of resources was the problem. Now we got all the resources in the world. The internet is right at our palms for us to research, read, and do everything we need to do. Guess what? Lack of resources wasn't the problem. The problem was we didn't want to take the time to do it.
You preaching now.
Because at the end of the day, whether the library was physical or whether it was virtual, we still got the same problem right now. And that's people willing to want to put in the work to actually study what it is for their craft. The glitz and the glam is cool. Being seen and being heard, that's cool. But what are you doing behind the scenes? If you lack substance, you're not who you say you are. Sorry, but you're not. So you can be all the glitz and glam on Instagram, Facebook, and that's what I love about this pandemic right now. Because this pandemic, you can't sell vibes right now. You know what I'm saying? Man. You can't sell me on catching the flight, doing this, doing that, and the third. You as an influencer, what are you when you can't influence me at a brunch? What are you when we not over mimosas and you can take pictures and you can post about this and blog and all of that? What are you without all of that? All of that superficial stuff, what are you without all of that? And what we realized is a lot of the people that we deem to be up here and we deem to be the influencers and what is your influence when I take away all of the superficial stuff? What do you actually have to offer me when I'm in a crisis, right? We got all of these, and I know that was the new fad, and I compliment and I applaud everybody that really takes being a life coach serious or being a mentor serious. You know me. I jumped into this mentor on my own. No capital, no money. I jumped at it. Still to this day, I have not received a single check from my mentorship. Not one. I don't get paid out of none of that. Because I'm doing it for who I say I'm supposed to be doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for all of the people that jumped on that bandwagon of, I'm a life coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a this, I'm that. Well, guess what? During this pandemic, when those people really needed you, what did you have to offer them when you couldn't pick them up, take them to a ride, and go here and go there? What did you have to offer? So this pandemic really showed you the difference between those that we deemed essential and who really was essential. And that, to me, that's the biggest thing that this pandemic has brought out. It's shown us who really is essential, who really has that substance, and who are the ones that have been getting by on the glitz and the glam for all of this time, man.
That's facts. That is facts.
Preach, brother.
That man, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what's your cash
you
app?
Take some offering
you feel me? Like, golly.
Hey, I'll drop that cash app later. Me and my wife celebrating our first anniversary on tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Shout out to that.
First year, man.
Black
this
love.
year went by so
Yeah, no
quick,
wonder
man.
he all amped up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You hear me?
Got a little energy about to drop out tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, buddy.
Name that baby after me. Nah, but seriously, bro, it's like everything you just said. Like, I can't even pinpoint anything that made more sense than the next. Everything made sense, but the one thing that I want to dive in on was that influence aspect.
Okay.
When you're not in front of people, when you're not able to get to people. One, like you said, you realize who's essential and who's not. Unpopular opinion. I've never been fond of the only time we hear of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton is when the black kid dies on media. Because I'm like, Al, I haven't heard from you.
Where they at now?
I haven't heard from you in a year, but you popped up in Houston for a funeral. I haven't heard from you with anything going on in Chicago, anything going on in Memphis. And I'm not taking anything away from them because it's like he said, I'm sure you're still doing stuff. But if the only time you're doing it is when you can publicize it, then the only image you're portraying is that you need that sense of entitlement from the people that are around you. You know what I'm saying? And I heard my brother say this, I think it was like a year or two ago. He's like, when you only do something for the applause, you've just placed your happiness in the hands of your audience. He's like, now you only do stuff because you got people clapping for you. Now you only go places because you know it's going to be people there waiting on you. But if you're a motivational speaker, if you're a public speaker, and you were supposed to host a venue this summer with 5,000 people, and the governor said you can't gather with more than 10. How you gonna influence these people now? You was canning on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget the money. How are you able to influence people if you can't do what you feel you always knew to do, which was being in front of people? Can you still have that same exact influence? What happens if you've been influencing people from afar and now you can't get to them? I always respect my brother will not hesitate to drive down to the city, the east side or the west side, to talk to somebody. Even during the pandemic, hey, come to the window, mask on. I'm rolling my window down. We gonna talk. I'm still gonna find my way to you, doggone it, because I made that promise that I'm gonna give back. But now you know what I'm saying? Now you're using it as a shield. Now you're using it as a crutch to hide behind it. But Breeze, let me ask you, just to add to that, because you are in a business where that's what you do. You thrive off of the pleasure of others. You're a people pleaser, but not in a boastful sense, not in the sense to where you only show up to show out and please people. When I say you're a people pleaser, I mean your profession is to please people. Your profession is to play the songs that everyone likes, to get a good mix going. You get a good flow, a good segue. One thing leads to a next. You already know what type of crowd you got. You know the generations. You know the ethnicities. You know you got Gen X, Gen Z, millennials. You know everything. You know what I'm saying? You're not just about to hook up your aux cord and play a few songs. You mix everything. When I see, y'all, when you look at his Instagram story, you can see 3 separate venues that he's DJing, and you will not hear the same combination of songs because he fills out his crowd. You feel me? He knows, oh, this is a high school scenery. This like prom night. I know what I'm going to play. Oh, this is a graduation. I know what I'm going to play. Oh, this is a wedding. They renewing their vows. I know what I'm going to play. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to fill out that crowd. So I wanted to talk to you about, like how he said, knowing what's essential and what's not essential. What have you been able to do to still be that influence during this time where you weren't able to do as much?
Well, I'll say with the DJing, like the pandemic definitely showed like what's essential and like what people would pay attention to and what's important and what's not. Yeah. You know, as far as the DJing go, everything got taken away. You couldn't go nowhere and DJ nowhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we had to find other ways. So shout out to all the DJs that got on Instagram and it showed that people were receptive to it because you know, you can get on Instagram and DJ and be talking to the people, especially DJs who can talk and interact with the crowd. Yeah. I made some money on Cash App, people sending donations and stuff in. So you got to be able to adapt, man, and learn how to make what you doing better. You know, I can't, like, shout out to Coalition DJs. My homie Ill Will, he DJ at the adult club, Truth. Mm-hmm. He, you know, that's gone right now, or it was, and it came back, but now it's gone again. Yeah. So what you do? I want to take you to the club virtually. So he had a whole page and a background set up. So and then you know he had the footage from people at the club. So and he know how to create the vibe. So he just created it in his basement. You know understand? Yeah. So that's what it's about, man. You got to be able to evolve and do something new. And just speaking on what he was talking about earlier, as far as like having the patience to build, like with the DJing, it was a time where I would have a couple events, and then there would be a long downtime, then a couple more, then long downtime. Then it got to a point where I would be busy for maybe like May to like August or September, and then it would slow down. You know what I'm saying? Then it got to the point to maybe that got extended to maybe like Christmas. Then it would be a dead season from like January to like you know, once it get warm, maybe like April or March. I had to keep building it. You know what I'm saying? I had a job and I had other stuff going on. There would be times where I'm living off this DJ money, but then there'd be other times where I'm living off this job. So I had to stay in it to see you put the investment in, the time, the consistency, buying the equipment, of course, but just everything that went into that, showing up to all the gigs, doing a couple gigs that I didn't want to do, doing some gigs that for some money that I necessarily, I wanted more, but I'm going to take this for the opportunity. Right. Learning, doing that, it being not what I wanted to be and learning from it. Like all of that was the investment into getting to where it is now, where I DJ all the time. You know what I'm saying? Even as soon as the doors open where they say we can have stuff going on, I had stuff going on where, I can social distance and sit over here and play my music and y'all good. You know what I'm saying? So that was the investment. So it took time. So my whole thing with the pandemic is, man, if you didn't learn a new hustle or some type of new skill, that's a problem because you didn't have nothing but time on your hands. Whatever idea you had in your brain, this is the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm
definitely gonna go there now because we had talked on a separate podcast episode where it was me, him, CJ, and my buddy Kenny. We were talking because I had put up a post, Kenny reshared it, and he started catching so much flack for posting it. And I don't mean flack like there was anything wrong, but this whole victimization mentality of when you see a post and it just doesn't sit right with you, it's so much easier for you to do this than for you to just do this right here. Y'all know what that is? Do y'all know what that is? You see that flick of the wrist? You see that? Like, I'm going to need you to zoom in on that. Right there. That's all you got to do is keep it moving. The old saying makes so much sense now. If it don't apply, let it fly. It's so simple. It's so basic. Why do you spend so much time trying to argue somebody down over something that just didn't relate to you? If it doesn't apply to you, let it fly over you. That's it. If it don't apply, let it fly. So he had put a post up, and the post said exactly that, and I shared it because I'm like, that's the truth. Where it said, if you don't come out of this pandemic, and get me, at the time, we were only supposed to be on lockdown for 3 weeks. It's been over 3 months now. But at the time, it was just 3 weeks. And the post said, if in these 3 weeks, if you don't come out with a new hobby, a new skill, something, then your problem isn't lack of time. It's a lack of commitment, lack of discipline. And somebody like hijacked the whole, which really, it really pisses me off when somebody hijacks someone else's post. So somebody took that at the bottom and crossed that all out and was like, if you don't learn anything new, it's okay. You're only human. You can, you know what I'm saying? Take your time. You don't have to keep living by the ways of the world. And I'm like, no, everything about that was just completely
it's not
false.
about living about the ways of the world.
Because CJ came on and CJ was like, hey, listen, I've been working at Chrysler. You heard him. I made 6 figures at Chrysler. Don't think I made that by sitting on my butt. I was hauling 14, 15-hour days, 5-6 days a week. I was getting overtime bonuses, profit sharing. I busted my butt to get that. So this pandemic, I've been at the crib. I've been eating, drinking, and sleeping. He was like, I ain't been doing nothing at all. And I'm like, see, that's a new skill. So the people that are trying to make it seem like it's okay to do that, no, you're right. It is okay. But that's a skill. You had to learn how to shut everything off. Chill. You feel me?
Some
you had
people
to
are already
learn.
Professional chillers.
Yeah, but it's like when you are so wired. He was wired with his business. He was wired with Gentleman's Den. We were doing photo shoots, pop-ups.
All got taken away.
You know what I'm saying? And when all of that got taken away, he's so used to being on the move.
It's like
he had to learn mentally. He had to learn how to just shut his mind down. That was a skill that he learned. So I'm like, if your mindset is that's okay to do that, I agree with you. But I'm not trying to make it seem like that's lazy. That's a good thing that he was able to set that time aside because if, like you're right, if you don't come out of this with something new, I don't want to hear anything about why you didn't accomplish anything. Everything's closed. What are you spending money on? If you're able, not everybody was fortunate enough to collect unemployment. It is what it is. But the people that were, it's $760 a week. That's about $3,000 a month. So over the course of 3 months, that's $9,000. A little bit longer could be close to $11,000. If all of your money is gone, unpopular opinion, don't talk to me about reparations. If you can't even handle $11,000 in 4 months, if you still don't have the money, and hear me, you got bills, you got kids, you got to buy formula, you got car notes, insurance, rent, mortgage. I understand that. I understand that. But if you 27, 26, still living at home while mommy and daddy don't have a bill in your name and your credit score is still under 600 and you're just out spending money, I get all of these shoes because I can. You know what I'm saying? I don't put myself in a bind when I buy any of this designer stuff. I'm not putting myself in a bind. I'm not choosing that over my morals. You feel what I'm saying? Like I put money in my savings. I put money in the stock. I put money in the mutual trust fund and the savings plan, my Roth, my 401k, IRA, all of that. I will put money into all of that and then say, oh, I got 175 left over. I think them Travis Scott 6s just came out. Let me go look at them. You know what I'm saying? I think these Shatter backboards about to come out. Let me check them out. I think them 720s on StockX, I can get them for like 145. Let me check them out. But that's with whatever I got left over. I'm not using my essential money for things that I know in my life are not essential. What I'm going to buy shoes for? Where I'm going? Where I'm going? The whole world closed. You know what I'm saying? But it's like to just add on the patience aspect of what y'all was both talking about, knowing that things take time. It was unfortunate, like he was saying, me being a personal trainer, I would be so upset at the people that after a week, they asking for their money back. And I'm like, you've been drinking for the past 20 years. And I ain't got nothing against drinking. I ain't got nothing against smoking. But I'm like, you've been doing that to yourself for 2 decades. And you expect me to get a magic wand and just drop that 30 pounds of stomach in 1 week. You know, you can ask Jesus to do that. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't even do that. Right. But don't put that on me.
Don't put it on you.
I can't do that. I'm in the gym. I can't construct what goes on outside of these four walls. I don't know what you eating, no matter what you tell me you're eating. I'm not at home to watch what you just popped in that microwave. I don't know what it is you're doing. It's going to take some time. Like Breeze know, when out of nowhere, when my personal Instagram account, after like we had a couple episodes, shout out to Devin Hester. He had reposted one of the episodes we did.
You was preaching that day.
After
that,
it took off. I had over 10,000, close to 11,000 followers. You know, everybody started, like the page started generating traffic. And that's when people start hitting me up like, yo, I would like to come on an episode with you. I would like to come do an episode with you. But I'm like, when I had 5 streams, when only 5 people listened to my episode, and one of them was me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
and one of them was me,
and the other 2 was my mom and my daddy, and then one stranger on Insta. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't talk to me about just trying to come and reap the benefits. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you, I heard a pastor named John Gray say this. He was talking about what he calls the construction zone, and he said, if you were not with me in the construction zone, don't try to pop up at my grand opening. He was like, if you were not with me when I was in the trenches, when I was busting my butt, when the money wasn't there, you know what I'm saying, when my credit was jacked up, we recorded, me and Breeze, we've been recording for almost a year now, every single week, faithfully, and the streams just weren't there. People were not hitting me back. People were not tuning in. People just didn't care, and I'm like, it is what it is. I'm like, you know what, Breeze, maybe we need to just cut back. Maybe we need to just go to once a week, because twice a week ain't nobody even checking it out. Why we wasting all of this gear, while we wasting electricity, while we wasting this studio space? But he like, nah, man, you talking good. Don't worry about the numbers. The numbers gonna be there. Boom. I kept going. Now I know I'm getting thousands of streams because it took time. It took patience. And when you invest in yourself, when you invest in whenever it is that you decide to invest in, but you got to understand that it's going to take time, and it's unfortunate, like he said, society today just does not have that patience. We want hot pockets. We don't want nothing cooked in the oven no more. We want everything microwave. We don't want nothing oven baked.
Hot pockets are dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You heat them mugs up and you go to eat it real fast, you'll burn your mouth off.
And it's like,
so they think about that part. You want a hot pocket, but it's dangerous.
You know what I'm saying? Hit on something because you
pick up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, because
we talked about BNT. We talked
right,
about it.
Because what you hitting on is essentially the same thing. Is that something that in most instances something too quick will burn you. You know what I'm saying? So what you're doing is even though that's something that's quick, it's gonna fill you. You know, it's a quick meal. It may fill you up. It may do that, but at the end of the day, that quick meal is gonna burn you as soon as you take it out because it wasn't cultivated the same way a regular pizza was. You see what I'm saying? A regular pizza gonna take you some time. That hot pocket, you throw it in the microwave, 2.5 minutes, whatever the time frame you like to do it on. As soon as it come out, it don't have the same process because what you see on the outside ain't what's on the inside. You see what I'm saying? So, and then you even hit on something when you were talking about having to take different gigs and doing different things when you first started out. And Boog, you hit on that as well as far as when you started your podcast out. That's another piece of investing in yourself is realizing that if anybody that's listening to this, if you don't take nothing away from what I'm saying, this part right here is the biggest key to being able to invest in yourself. When you first start out, you literally have to do what you have to do to where you can get to do what you want to do.
Yep.
It don't start out. You don't start out just being able to do all that in the third. You had to take what you can get when you started to get to the point of, listen, no. I don't want to do this gig. I don't want to do that gig. I don't want to have to accept this amount of money when I know that my craft is worth this. I don't want to have to do 1 episode a week when I know that what I'm saying is worth 2-3 episodes a week.
Yep.
I don't want to have to start at the bottom of a totem pole in a transit agency when I know that my mindset is built for something much higher. That's the point that I had to get to. I mean, when you look at, for my career, I've jumped between 4 or 5 different career avenues because I was focused on so many different things, like I said, and I didn't hone in on the one thing that I was really good at in the back of my mind, which was logistics. And not realizing how far that mindset and how far a career in logistics and transportation would take me. I started out with my own gym in Mount Clemens.
Yep.
I was a personal trainer and I was a massage therapist. And guess what? I didn't hone any one of them to the full capability that I could have. And what happened? Gym get closed because guess what? We all know how gyms work. Yep. Wintertime, you got all that up in here, and then guess what? I didn't build an effective plan to last me through those months when I'm not getting as many people coming in the door. I'm not selling the memberships. I'm not selling personal training during the spring and during the summer because everybody just comes in the winter. So I made it the first 2 years, but bad expenditures, bad. I'm not one to just make it seem like, oh man, it was the competition that took me out. No. I made some bad business decisions in myself to not be able to keep myself up to par with the competition. So I can't necessarily just blame. There's competition in every single industry that you go into, but there's always something about you that can make you different from everybody else. You as a DJ, guess what? There's gobs of DJs out here.
Yep.
Not in the world, not even in this state, not even in this city, but in your own neighborhood. If I just took out a zip code and pulled up how many DJs are in that little zip code, you would find tons of them, right? But at the end of the day, there's something about Cool Breeze that makes them different than somebody else. Yeah. There's a reason that you're being booked versus this guy. You see what I'm saying? So you have to take that time, man. It's all about time. You have to be patient with your growth process. It's going to take time. It's not something that's overnight. Take that time to be able to get to where you want to go. And the other thing you can do is, my wife, I don't know I can say this now, my wife is about to launch a business. I ain't gonna say what she's doing because that's her launch day coming up, but I'm proud of her for it because she was one of the ones that took this time over the pandemic and said, you know what, here's something else that I like to do. So my 9-to-5 job that I'm doing, I'm gonna let that fund what it is that I really want to do now, right? So her business, she's about to launch that, but what I had to tell her was, and this is something that a lot of people make the mistake of when they want to start investing in themselves or they want to start looking for a business or an industry that they want to go into, creating anything. First thing people always do is, okay, well, what's a realistic goal I can hit? What's something realistic? Okay, if I'm going to sell this product, realistically, I'm going to only get this. I want to do this, but realistically, I'm going to get... And essentially what you're doing is you're already sabotaging what it is that you're trying to do. Because you're already building out a scapegoat for if you don't achieve what it is that you want to achieve. You're already building in the back of your mind a way out to say, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to hit that. So let me just drop down. Well, you know what? If I don't hit the goal, well, realistically, I said that realistically, this was the goal that I was going to hit. So what you're doing is you're literally already sabotaging yourself before you even get started. Because you're already building out a bottom level, a plateau for you to stay on instead of going after what it is that you know you want to go after. Don't set goals and then try to break your goals up into, okay, this is realistic and then this is what I want to do. A dream is a dream just because of that. It's far out. It's something that you can envision, something that you can see. That's the reason why it's a dream. So don't try to put them together and say, okay, well, this is my dream, but then this is my realistic dream. Why do we do that? And I had to check myself on that initially because I'm like, okay, I started off with a school bus, started working at a school bus company, and that's how I got my feet wet into the industry, started doing that, and the next thing I know, boom, I'm in DPS, and I'm running their school bus systems for the city. And then, boom, here it is now, I'm with DDOT. Like, within a 3-year time frame, all of that happened. From a minor school bus company that got we had maybe 120 drivers to then the following year we merged with another company. Boom, we're at 300 something drivers. Now I'm at DDOT with 500 plus drivers working the entire city of Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So I had to put myself in a position to say, you know what, let me stop saying what's realistic and let me just say, this is what I want to achieve. This is what I'm going to go get. I'm going to go get it. I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's realistic to think that I'm going to have to be here for 5 or 6 more years before I get the opportunity to move there. No, if that's what I want, I'm going after it. I didn't have the degree. If I showed you what the job qualifications were for that position, I had to have a master's degree. Ask me if I got a master's degree in logistics. No. Ask me if I got a bachelor's degree. No. My degree is in kinesiology. You see what I'm saying?
Say it again.
Ain't got nothing to do with transportation. You see what I'm saying?
You got experience on when you was working.
And what I did was everything that happened in my life led me everywhere that I was supposed to go. So that's why I say when you're investing in yourself, look at everything you've gone through. Every lesson has taught you something. Every lesson has put you somewhere for where you are in life. You know my life story. Started out with the gym. Gym didn't work out, so that fell apart. But guess what? One of my members at the gym, when my gym fell apart, was the branch manager of Comerica Bank in Oak Park. Yep. And guess what? He said, you know what, man, you really good with this selling stuff. Why don't you come and apply to be a personal banker with Comerica? Went and became a personal banker with Comerica. And then moved up from there and became a mortgage banker and did mortgage banking. And then guess what? 6 years ago, Comerica decided to close branches and lay off people because I didn't have the seniority. I was one of the first ones out the door. I was the number 4 ranked banker in the state of Michigan at the time when they let me go. But because I didn't have the seniority, they gave me the bounce. Left there, and guess what? One of the guys' accounts that I handled was ABC Student Transportation. I handled his account when I was at the bank. When I got laid off there, he said, you know what, man? You're really good with this managing and, doing everything. You handle my portfolio really good. Why don't you come and work for me at the transportation business? Boom. Now here I am in an industry that in the back of my mind I always knew I could go into. Started off there, worked all the way through that, worked through DPS. And then guess what? One of my boys that moved up and works for DDOT called me. Hey, man, the assistant director position just came available. You should throw your name in the hat. Nah, man, I don't think I'm going to do that. I looked at them qualifications. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Let me get another 2 years. Nah, bro, apply for that position. This is something that you can do. Apply for the position. A month later, they called me. Hey, man, we want to offer you that position. 2 months after I got married to my wife. And guess what? Every goal that me and my wife said we wanted to accomplish within our 1 year of marriage, we've hit 3 out of the 4 goals that we wanted to do. And the last goal is just absolutely not possible because we was in a pandemic. I said I wanted to be in 6 figures before the end of our first year of marriage. We in 6 figures. I said I wanted us to be in a new house. We're in a new house. My wife wanted to have a new car. She got a new car. She wanted to be able to launch a business. She's launching a business. Every goal that we wanted to achieve, and those are just the big ones. That's not even the little ones that we put in place to go throughout that process. Yeah. But every experience put me where I was supposed to go. Look at me being robbed outside of the church. 3 years ago. It was 4 years ago. January 4 years ago, 2016, going up to our church. We getting ready to have rehearsal. Yep. I got robbed at gunpoint outside of the church. Got robbed outside of the church. My man's put a gun in my head. His hand shaking like I just knew that he was about to pull the trigger. Not even on purpose, but on accident because he was terrified. He didn't want to do it. But here he go. He's shaking. Hit me over the butt of the head with it. Because of the trauma that I had, I couldn't go back to our church for like 2 or 3 weeks. So guess what? I went and visited another church that Sunday. That happened on the Thursday. That Sunday, I went and visited another church and just said, you know what? I want to go somewhere else because I can't step foot into here. I go to that other church, beginning of the service, pastor gets up and he says, I need everybody in this church to walk around and find somebody that looks like they need a hug, right? The first person that gave me a hug, guess who it is?
Your wife?
The woman I just married last year. Ooh, if I don't get robbed, I don't meet my wife. You see what I'm saying? So that bad experience led me into the position of a lifetime. It had to happen. So when people try to pull away the bad experiences and say, oh, well, I don't want to remember this experience. I don't want to remember that. It's a part of who you are, whether you like it or not. And there is something in every moment that has shaped you to be to where you are. You cannot cancel out the bad and think that that hasn't played a part of who you are. It has. And you have to be willing to go back and internalize it and look and say, you know what did that lesson teach me? Yeah. Because a lesson without you being able to implement what it was that you learned, it's just that. It's just an experience. You ain't learned nothing from it then. Stuff just keep happening to you, huh? I got a big problem with people that's
he
that's
hurting
on that.
feelings.
Yeah,
hey, they
because,
go fast forward that part. They
that,
mad at
because
cuz.
They go
fast forward that part.
Man, because we all know people like that are on this carousel of life and the same stuff keep happening over and over and over again. Have you ever wondered that position, that situation keeps happening to you because you didn't learn the lesson the first time? That you didn't learn the lesson the second time? That you didn't learn the lesson the third time? So now here you are on this merry-go-round going through the same positions and you watching everybody else get off and you still on it. And you trying to figure out what's the difference between you and them. They got tired of the ride. At some point, if me and you go to Cedar Point and we get on the same roller coaster over and over again, eventually one of us going to get tired of riding the same thing over and over again. If we go that day and we ride the Maverick over and over and over again, at some point, one of us gonna say, you know what, bro? There's other rides in this park that we could ride. I paid money to get into here, but I'm only doing this same thing. That's what life is. Life is like Cedar Point. You got all of these rides, all of these experiences, all these different things you can do. You're the fool for standing in the same line, for standing in a 45-minute line to ride the same thing over and over again, forgetting that there's so much more that has to offer you in this park. That's life, man.
Say that.
I'm afraid to say anything else.
Whatever. Dog.
Frank, you want to close up, bro? I feel like we can just leave. Like I ain't. Where we at? How much time we at? I feel like we might as well just.
50.
We at 50. I guess we can talk for some more, but I really don't want to come behind
Hey,
it.
my man,
I really don't want to come behind it.
great.
But y'all listen to me. I would have been a fool to be I'm the youngest. I would have been a fool to not soak up all of that knowledge that he was throwing at me. Because everything he said, things had to happen. That was the day I learned the importance of being patient. That was the importance I learned, the importance of what we call delayed gratification. Everybody seeks that instant gratification. Mm-hmm. I had to learn the importance of delayed gratification from that exact same scenario because to tell my side of when he had got robbed, like he said, we was heading up to the church. He got there a little bit early. Had to happen. I was at the gym with two of my cousins, my cousin Johnny and my cousin Parrish. We were at the gym right off 8 Mile. We were at the LA Fitness. I got them in because, I was a trainer there. So we working out for a bit. He called me. As soon as he called me, I'm like, yo, we out. I told them, hey, my bag is in locker XYZ. Watch my stuff. We just went straight there. I'm fresh out of the military. I'm fresh out of the Marine Corps. Like, my boots still ain't even dried yet.
You ain't even have a beard yet.
You know what I'm saying? Still, dead serious.
Booty
fresh
face.
saves, booty face, bro,
Yep.
for real. Like, I was fresh out of the service, bro. And because I was fresh out, my mind was still wrapped around if I see something I don't like, it's
on.
Yeah. And got my CPL, always had it. The weapons I got for recreation. I don't got for the purpose of using them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking no AR. I'm talking the M1014 shotgun. I'm talking the P227 customized. I got all of this stuff that I just use for fun.
I got an Xbox 360. You said a P227. I got a PS5 with the hard drive.
I'm done with you,
It's
bro.
red.
But it's like, I got all of these just for the sake of recreation. Like, I use them at the range. I use them to go through tactical things. You know what I'm saying? Because, I always wanted to be law enforcement. So I'm just like, let me just stay with it. Let me stay fresh. Let me stay hot so I don't lose it. As soon as he told me what happened, I'm like, we know that block. Our church is on that block. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to see somebody that looked like they just did something stupid. They say the serial killer always returns to the scene of the crime. My cousins, because they were in the car with me, I'm speeding through every single red light. They told me to chill. I was like, I'm not chilling. We was at Chalmers, right at that church, right on Chalmers. As soon as we get past Chalmers, I breeze through it. I turn on Kilbourne. I park like a block and a half away. As soon as I stopped the car, I kept the key in the ignition. I popped the trunk. All that's going through my mind is, as soon as I see him, I'm putting a bullet in it and I'm gone. That's where my mind was at. Don't talk to me about God. Don't talk to me about nothing. My brother got robbed in front of a church. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't talk to me about God right now. Just being real. I'm like, I'm popping the trunk. I had both of them with me. I'm like, bro, y'all can grab whatever y'all want to grab. I got 6 weapons in the trunk. You feel me? Everybody get a weapon if you want a weapon. I grabbed the biggest weapon I can find. My cousin literally grabbed me by the throat and threw me back against the car. And he pointed. He was like, you see them 2 cop cars right there? You see that EMS truck right there? You see that fire truck right there? You gonna be that MF and stupid, a black man in Detroit with a gun that they don't even know you got. I'm sure it's registered, but this ain't no little pistol you talk. I had a shotgun in my hand. He was like, you gonna be that careless because you are that pissed off. You gonna be that careless. So he pulled me back against the car and we sat there and we waited like 30 seconds. After that 30 seconds, I put everything back in the car. We walked up there. He told us what happened, told us where they were transporting my brother. So we went down to the St. John to check on him and all of that stuff. I said that to say, if I had ran that red light, you know what I'm saying? One red light that they told me not to run. If I had ran that red light, I promise you I would have seen them walking away. I promise you I would have seen them. And if I didn't see them, I would have saw somebody that fit the description. I would have saw somebody that looked like they was up to no good. I would have interrogated them. One thing would have led to another, and your boy would be locked up right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no bail, no bond, nothing. And so I said that to say, everything that happened from that, everything I learned from him helped me to understand why patience was so important. The biggest part of his story that I know he never really goes into, after the gym closed down, right after Massage Envy, he got a job. He got a gig being a physical, one of the trainers for the Lions, like getting paid great money to stretch with Stafford and Calvin Johnson. And he went to Wayne State with Joik. So Joik Bell, shout out to Joik Bell. So he knew like the guys on the roster. He cool. He had his own stuff, had his own equipment. Coach got fired. It's the Lions. Coach got fired. Soon as the coach got fired, they bring in the new coach. The coach said, hey, I'm sweeping
Everybody
house.
get out of here.
I'm sweeping house. I'm bringing in my physicians. I'm bringing in my nutritionists. I'm bringing in my trainers. I'm bringing in my, you know what I'm saying? I'm bringing in all of my guys, all of my assistants. I ain't got nothing against you. I ain't got nothing against JR. I just don't know y'all. So because this is what the last coach had going on, all y'all got to go. So it was like dog put every single dime he had into that. And at no fault of his own, that job got stripped from him. So when I was in the military and we had a falling out because I'm like, yo, bro acting funny. We ain't been talking that much. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here risking my life. And I can't even get a text. I can't even get a phone call, you know, like, what's up? I fell out with my mom. I fell out with everybody. I was like, let me get as far away from the crib as I can. I was sick of everybody at home. You know what I'm saying? But then I come home and I realize you just had a daughter. You just got stripped of your job. So now you got to keep up with all of these payments. Now you got a newborn, mouth you got to feed. You got all of these variables going on. And I was selfish enough to not understand. You wasn't neglecting me. You had priorities.
Taking care of your
You
business.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
investments in place. You invested your time into your daughter. You wasn't caring about anything else. You didn't care about a single person on this planet more than you cared about your daughter. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, look, listen, I ain't got nothing against the people that are placed in the positions that they placed in now. But I'm like, yo, if you lay down with that woman and had that baby, get your butt up and raise that child. Period, point
Hands
blank.
down.
I don't
Hands
sit
down.
here and tell me, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit here and bash the person that you willingly slept with. You are bashing your choice. You chose her. You know what I'm saying? If you did, you know what I'm saying? That's what I always respect my brother. He like, look, I love my daughter way too much to sit here and be a statistic. You know what I'm saying? So everything he was doing was setting him up, like he said. So it was like it had to happen. He had to go through all of that. The experience at the gym taught him how to sell. The experience at the bank taught him how to understand finances. The experience at ABC taught him how to be over people. Everything had to happen, man. But it's like while you're in it, you're like, why the F is this happening?
Right.
While you're in it, you're like, why is this happening?
Then it go back to what he said earlier. I mean, it's an investment. You got to be able to see it through to the end. If you had to just been at the one part at the bank and be like, man, and quit or something, you wouldn't have got to the next part. So it go back to what you said at the beginning, man. You got to be able to put that investment in and then be able to see it through all the way to the end.
You gotta
Exactly.
can't rush it. Don't rush, man.
Then you get a hot pot.
Patient.
Then you burn your
If
mouth.
I
Don't
had
rush
to,
it.
I'm gonna let you speak. If I had to define investment, I would define investment as a patient expectation.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it. A patient
That's a good way to-
expectation.
that's a good way to
It's
put it.
an investment. You have to wait to see the fruit of your labor. It's not gonna happen right away. It's just not. You can look at all the people on Instagram now that can turn 5 into 500. If y'all still out there, hit your boy up. I really want to see what y'all talking about. But for the rest of us with a
They gonna
brain,
walk away with all your money.
you know what I'm saying?
Walk away with your money on a PayPal card.
all,
Don't,
all
don't
of
do
them,
that.
I'm like
Don't do
all,
that.
all of them pyramid schemes I used to see of the Instagram pages. You used to see the, you know, I'm sure you seen the Instagram pages where it'll be that little pyramid, and every time you click on it, it'd be somebody else's name in it, and they'd be
Yep.
like, who else want to join? Who else want to join? I don't see that no more. I'm like, are y'all done taking people money?
Yeah.
Are y'all done robbing people blind? Like, are you done? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's that instant gratification. Delayed gratification is when you can say, in 2011, I started at Wayne State. 2013, had my own gym. 2015, got laid off, lost my job, started a new position. Here I am in 2020, making 6 figures, married to the woman that was there for me after I got held at gunpoint. In 2020, all of that started in 2011. It took 9 doggone years for me to see the fruit of my labor. But you're upset that it's been 2 weeks and you ain't lost 10 pounds. You upset that it's been, you know what I'm saying? It's like somebody may have grown up without a father. You've been in this relationship for a month and you're already thinking of cutting ties because of your insecurities. Because you're 26. You went 26 years without knowing how to cultivate, without how to court. You know what I'm saying? And it's like y'all ready to cut ties after 30 days. You're trying to undo in 30 days what's been festering for 26
For a
years.
lifetime.
Patience, my guy. It takes patience. So many things take patience, and it's still an ongoing process for me. When I first got out compared to now, I got out of the military 6 years ago. You want to ask me how I still feel about fireworks? You want to ask me how I still feel about sitting next to windows, about hearing a lawnmower or a weed whacker get started? Simple stuff. You want to ask me about that and hear me? It's not that. It has nothing to do with experiences overseas or nothing like that. It's just like your mind just becomes so equipped with what to do when you hear something. Your mind gets so equipped to try to adapt and overcome the circumstances. And in my mind, it's a fight for my life.
Yeah.
And my bro JR's like, T, not everything is life or death. Not everything is a life or death circumstance. That's what you guys were taught, and I understand that. But I'm going to help you get through this. And so here I am 6 years later, still trying to undo some things, but understanding that it takes time. Certain things just take time. But I'm going to ask this one last thing, and we can go from there and we can close on that. But when it comes to the act of investing, right? Because like you said, there are things that just has to happen, and you don't realize why it has to happen until after it happens, right? It's like people want so bad to see the end while they're in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, to some people like me, I just need a glimpse. I need a glimpse of where it is that I'm headed. As long as I get that glimpse, I'm good. I tell everybody, I don't care how, like, whatever body frame you want, find somebody. Find you an actor, find you an athlete, find you a model, an actress. Now, I'm not telling you to compare yourself to them, but just find something or someone that you can say that makes sense. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. There's a guy that I look up to named Simeon Panda, one of the dopest dudes ever, right? His Instagram page, all he do is workouts. He do training videos. He has his own brand, but he actually takes the time to reach back out to people. There's another guy named Jamal King, the Make Real Estate Real. He's on ET's podcast. He's somebody else I look up to because he takes the time to respond back to you. You know, so many people make posts and it's like they don't take that 1 or 2 seconds. And it's like, I get it. If you don't have that much time on your hand, cool. If you got somebody else running your page, cool. But they actually run their own pages. They run their own businesses. So they take the time out to just, you know, respond to questions. Like, if there's 120 comments on the video, it's because 60 of them were comments and the other 60 were his replies. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog is legit. He is fruitful. He takes the time to respond to people. But so what I want to get to is knowing that things have to happen. What helped you? I'm gonna start with you and I'm gonna come to you. What helped you remain patient during that time? Because I'll be honest, patience is my strong suit, but it's also a curse because you can only wait so long before you're like, all right, bro. All right, dog. It's been a couple years. I went through a stint of unemployment for almost 3 years. Where I'm just like, all right, bro. I get it. I'm hot headed. I get it. I'm aggressive. I get it. I just got out of the military, so the way I respond in certain scenarios is abnormal. It's abstract. Like, I get it. You're not hiring me because you understand that you're taking a risk with me. My old boss at LA Fitness, Matt, the only reason I didn't go to jail is because he vouched for me. When a guy had came into the gym just going crazy, I dragged him out of the gym. He swung on me. I body slammed him to the ground. I can't remember what I said, but he told the cop that I said he tried to kill me. And it doesn't help my case that your shirt's ripped, you're bloody, and a tooth is missing. That doesn't help the case at all. But in my mind, I'm just trying to eliminate the threat. But again, not everything's life or death.
True.
Ask me that question in 2015 if not everything was life or death.
You sound like my brother John.
Yeah.
Man. You be on the same tip. You can't. They train you to do a certain thing, and then you can't. And then you come back to the regular world. You just got to turn that off.
Yeah, like what spent so long building up,
ingrained in your brain.
I had to learn in 1 week how to undo everything.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Like him.
And so it was like he taught me that. So something that I know can encourage our listeners as well as myself. I'm always the first person I'm preaching to. What helped you remain patient even with times where your patience just was not there?
So for me, and I know this may sound a little weird, but don't attach yourself to the process. And what I mean by that is a lot of us, I'll say a lot of us because I was one of them, is that we get so focused on the busy work of achieving our goal that we spend so much time of living in the process and, oh yeah, I'm working, but you don't actually see the fruition of that goal, right? So what you need to do is, it would have been easy for me to attach myself to the gym, attach myself to Comerica, attach myself to ABC. And then when those things go, what am I? Because I would have at that time, I had attached myself to that gym. So outside of the gym, what am I outside of that? Outside of Comerica, what am I outside of that? That's what investing is about. When all of that stuff goes away, do you still have something in here that represents who you are? So for me, when you're going through that, don't attach yourself to a person, a place, a company, or organization. Don't attach yourself to that stuff. Attach yourself to your purpose. Attach yourself to your call. Attach yourself to whatever it is that you know embodies who you are, your character, your integrity. Attach yourself to that stuff, because when everything else goes away, who I am still stood. You see what I'm saying? When the gym went away, I had another opportunity because I still stood. When Comerica went away, I had another opportunity because who I wasn't attached to all of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another opportunity came in 4 different industries back to back to back. Why? Because they said, you know what? Who that guy is, I know that I can put him in this position and he'll still succeed. And that's not me patting myself on the back. That's not me, bragging or anything like that. That's just to say that I knew who I was at that point, not fully, but I spent so much time making sure that what I had to offer internally, that my character was in check, that my integrity was in check. That way, when other opportunities come up, people can vouch for you because they've seen you be integral in other positions. And that's something that is completely lost in business and in ethics and in achieving your goals. People forget that at the end of the day, you still got to be integral. Because guess what? Me being at D-Dot, you can go to any one of those businesses, any of those places I worked. And guess what? I'm in the position that I am, not because I had to lie on anybody, not because I had to step over anybody, not because I had to treat anybody bad, I had to bad mouth, mistreat, kiss up to any. I didn't have to do any of that. And that's, again, I'm not bragging on it. That's just saying there's certain things that I hold high within myself. And my integrity and my character is something that I just don't play about. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. I'm not perfect by any means. But at the end of the day, my integrity and my character is something that I've always held on to. Not my reputation, my character and my integrity. Because your reputation is nothing more than whatever anybody else think about you. You can do all of the right things in the world, but somebody else can see one thing that they didn't like about what you did, and now that becomes your reputation. My character, my reputation, all right, whatever you think about me, whatever y'all say, that's what my reputation is, right? But if I do enough within myself and I build my own character, I build my own integrity, whatever you say don't matter, because at the end of the day, I know what's fact and what's not. And that also plays in the part of who you got around you. Because if somebody can say something wishy-washy and anybody in your circle can just run with it, that says a lot about who they are.
Yep.
That don't say that about you. That says who they are.
Yep. A wise man once said, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can't change the people around you, you got to change the people around you.
Absolutely.
And that's facts. But yeah, that's good. I like the part about not attaching your character to your reputation, because to so many people that is one.
Yeah.
Right. You feed off of that. You feed off, and again, tying into what you told me, you can't place your happiness in the hands of your audience, because now it's like you only get a thrill when people clap for you. So when there's no claps, you think you're doing something wrong. So when I was only getting, single digit streams, I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Am I not saying enough? Do they just not care? You know what I'm saying? Because I became one of those people, one of them women that, say it for what it is, that your beautification is dependent on the number of likes you get on Instagram. Where if you don't get 3 digits, you're going to delete the post. You're going to delete it. If you don't get a certain number of comments, if you don't get a certain number of people, if you don't get that set attention, then you're just like, nope, I'm taking this picture down. They wasn't feeling that one. And it's like, but the 97 people that did feel it, you're doing them a disservice. You're not really appreciating the people that are there for you. I didn't appreciate the 4 people that did tune in. I was more focused on the 1,000 of people I was missing out on. So I appreciate that you said don't attach your character to your reputation, because I did. And I can tell you the negative effects that comes with only doing things because of what people have to say about you, and not doing it for yourself. Only trying to drive a certain car because you want people to see you pull up a certain way. Only wearing suits because you like the attention you get from wearing. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, I truly work out because it's my safe haven. It puts me at peace. There was a point where I'm like, no, when I take this shirt off, y'all gonna feel every piece of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the last person I'm working out for. I'm working out so everybody else can get a good visual. But once I learned to internalize it, to say, let me just do this because I like feeling good. Meaning at this point, from this day forward, if y'all don't notice a single thing different about me, and I still work out every single day, I'm cool. I'm cool with knowing that I still did something to push myself. I still feel good, because when I feel good, I look good. But let me ask you, Breeze, when it comes to you and your profession, two-part question. One, when did you realize you had a heart for people to be a DJ? And two, what helped you stay the course when I'm sure you had, bumps and turns and stuff that came in your life that made you maybe even question the validity of what it was you were doing?
I wanted to be a DJ because I was at them parties at college, and I'm like, man, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I had all the music and stuff anyway, so I just had a belief in myself that I could do it. I was like, I can rock this party. So I did like a freestyle battle, and ended up doing like a party and had my own little vibe, and that was the beginning of all that. You know what I'm saying? Worked with a company and did weddings, and they kind of taught me like how to use equipment and how to work a crowd, and then I put my own little sauce to it and built the own thing. But and the other part of the question was, when stuff get hard, like during them times when it would be those down times, it would be almost like a cyclical depression almost. You'd be like, because everything be good, you be working, you got stuff going on, and then you be slow and don't nothing be happening. You be like, dang, I don't have that much money and this and that and the other. But the thing that kept me going is because I knew I could do it. And I was like, I could see myself. I remember looking up at, like, I'm a coalition DJ now, but I remember looking up at some of the other coalition DJs and being like, I want to DJ there. I want to be like Mark G. I want to be like Ill Will. You know what I'm saying? I want to DJ where they DJing at and be able to get that type of, be able to walk in the club and they like, oh, that's Cool Breeze, and tear that mug up. Yeah. So the desire for that, you know what I'm saying, was something that kept me going. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, I ain't want to work no regular job.
Facts.
Tell you the truth, man. I wanted to be able to do my own thing. I kept trying to do it. That's a whole story in itself. Kept trying to work the jobs, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they tell you you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But everything not for everybody. You don't have to follow the blueprint that they tell you to. You know what I'm saying? You can make your own way. So once I started believing that, it was like, I definitely got to go for it. And then just like you say, I don't do it for the claps. But when somebody come up to you and be like, hey, man, you doing your thing, you appreciate it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to say nothing.
Yeah.
You could have kept that to yourself. You could have told somebody like, he's straight. But you actually coming up and telling me that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to be doing something right. So I feel like when you be DJing and stuff, and I think you get like, kind of like if you're driving and you see sign markers, like you almost to where you going, like, your destination is over here. I feel like when you out there and people show you that love, you know what I'm saying, like that, because they don't have to. So I feel like when they do that, that's like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it's and to tie into like what you was just saying, I thought that I had that blueprint too of having to just work a 9 to 5, because that's what you told. There was a point in time you couldn't go to your mommy and dad and say, I'm starting a business or I'm being an entrepreneur. They're going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
They're going to laugh in your face. But you better go out there and get you a job. You better go to the plant. You know what I'm saying? You better go wherever. You better get you a real job. This whole starting your own business, what happens if it fails? What happens if this? It was always with a negative connotation. There was always that pessimistic additive, right, where it's like, you need to be prepared for something bad to happen. And you're absolutely right, but that's not going to be the deciding factor. Investments come with risk. I could put money into Delta right now, and for some reason Delta can just plummet. But I could put money into something right now, and it could just plummet.
But something that don't have no risk? Going to the same job every day.
And that's why that is so good. That's why so many people get comfortable in it.
It's no risk.
Because it's like,
all I got to do is show up and do this every day.
Exactly.
And
I'm at the plant. Good. I can try to start my own business. I can try to do this, that, and the third. But if everything falls through, I know I'm going to be there from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. I know I'm going to pick stuff up and I'm going to put stuff down. And I'm going to do that comfortably for 30 years. And they're going to pay me a third of what I earned when I was doing that. And I'm going to live comfortably the rest of my life. And to so many people, that's
that.
Yeah, that's where they at. Exactly.
And that's not good enough.
And for me, I thought that I needed that, right? I thought that that's what it was for me until God was like, no, that ain't what I called you to. And that's what started getting frustrating for me, was because I knew my whole life what I wanted to be. I will say this to the death of me, that I always wanted to be a cop. As much as we talked about, I'm like, that's how I'm going to give back. I'm going to be DPD, and I'm going to go back down the same street that I grew up on, and I promise you I'm going to encourage every single kid on that block. I Promise you I'm going to tell them there's more to the world than that corner and a corner store.
That's right.
Promise you I'm going to tell you there's more than these high schools that are dwindling down or being turned into charter schools. Nothing against them, but I promise you there's so much more to this world. I promise you it's some hidden gems in the city of Detroit.
There's some other things you need to see.
You know what I'm saying?
This.
Yeah, besides this, there's so much more you can be exposed to. And that was going to be my way of giving back. Applied DPD? Nope. Applied for FLIT? Nope. Applied for sheriff? Nope. Applied federal? Nope. They always just like, no. And I'm like, I'm not understanding, because I did 35 pull-ups. So I did 25 more than what the recommendation was. I could run a mile in 5 minutes. And like he said, not bragging, it's just facts. Like, I can run a mile in 5 minutes. I've seen the fat cops getting laughed at on World Star because the crackhead is hopping fences and you can't keep up. And it's like, it's funny to everybody. And I'm like, how do you have a job? How are you out on patrol? Why are you not at a desk? That says something. If you can't outrun somebody, if you can't, the day you can't chase anybody down the back alley is the day you need to turn that badge in. Unpopular opinion. I said what I said. That was going to be the day I would have retired. If I'm in my 40s or early 50s and somebody get away from me, hey, y'all can have this badge. Y'all can have this weapon. I don't deserve to be out here no more because I can't keep up no more. You know what I'm saying? I can't do this anymore. That was going to be the day that I stopped. But I'm like, I meet all of the physical qualifications. Why am I not a cop? All up here. The psych evaluation, the not the polygram, not the lie detector test, but the questions they ask. What would you do in this situation? You could pretty much assume what my answer would have been to what I would have done in every single situation where somebody has a weapon. Not unarmed, not anything that's going on right now. Make no mistake, I am not mistaking all of this ignorance and injustice going on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if somebody has a weapon and they're advancing towards you, or if somebody does this, if someone's hands in their pockets, my answers were all the same on how that would go down. And I'm like, oh, that's why. That's why all of these doors was closing. And so fitness for me was just that was my avenue. I'm like, I'm just going to keep working out to stay in good shape. You know what I'm saying? I was back there minding my own business, like how somebody vouched for him. I'm in the back of LA Fitness, just training, minding my own business. A guy came up to me, suit and tie. Everybody out there wears a suit and tie into the gym coming off of work. So I thought he was just passing by. He shook my hand, was talking. I don't like taking my headphones off when I'm working out because I be in the zone, but I just felt led to talk to him for a second. He shook my hand. We talked. He was like, you looking for work, you things like that. And in my mind, I don't know what you do. I don't really care to hear about what it is you do, but I'm just like, man, I'm just here working out so that I can, go law enforcement. That's all I'm here for. He's like, well, if you're ever looking for a job, give me a call. I said, well, what you offering? I'm talking to him like a normal person, right, laughing, just being me. Like, what you offering? No fancy words. And I was like, what you offering? No, you got something on the table, bro. Let's talk. Like, talking to him like a human being. He shook my hand. I ain't gonna say nothing. He shook my hand and was like, I'm so-and-so. I'm the regional vice president of this LA Fitness. I own 13 LA Fitnesses. Dog made over $200,000 a year. And I'm talking to him like a regular Joe Schmo. He just came up to me. I'm in like a cutoff tank top, some gym shorts. I'm in the back working out. But because he saw my figure, because he saw the exercises I was doing, he probably saw my demeanor, my face, offered me a job in personal trainer. I didn't care about being a personal trainer. I wasn't interested in that at all. I was just like, I'm here because this is my journey. Yeah. This is not my destination. And I had no idea that there was so much more for me, you know what I'm saying, in the world of fitness, because in my mind, I'm just doing this to get me to the police academy. The second they call me, I'm out. Right. Don't offer me no contract because I will breach that contract the second I get a call from the FBI, from Secret Service, DEA, CIA, ATF, the 3 letters. Yeah. If any one of them call me, bro, I'm like, I'm dropping everything. And everybody at the gym was just struck. Was like, you realize who you was just talking to. I was like, not until after. But I guess I'm y'all boss now. So what's up? What we gonna do? So I came in, the next day, formal interview, got rocking and rolling. Long story short, I had been with LA Fitness for 5 years after that. But that was just like everything he said earlier. It had to happen. I had to get denied. I had to get to a place where I needed to find a way to let it out. The gym was the only way I was letting it out. And that set me up for TSM. Getting denied from what I wanted to do for the first 26 years of my life. Being told flat out, no, you can't be a cop. When I'm looking at every cop in the city of Detroit saying, I promise you I'm faster than him. I promise you I can shoot more precise than him. I promise you I talk better to people than him. Like, I promise you. I pinky promise you. But knowing that I got denied that that set me up to start my own business. That set me up to say there's more to personal training than what I've been able to see. So yeah, I knew that we had to take a minute just to talk about that, because more than anything, this is the time to invest. I know there's more that we're going to get into on the next segment, but for right now, I feel like that's a good place to end it. But learn to invest. Invest in yourself. Invest in what matters. Use this time, as JR said, as Breeze even said, to use this time to get to a place where you understand what's essential, right? What matters to you. Not what the world says matter, not what the government says, not what Trump says. What matters to you? What are you doing to promote yourself? What are you doing to sell yourself? Bree said it last week. Make your face a coupon. And I was like, yo, that is so rich of a statement. Make your face a coupon. What are you selling? What's the first thing people see when they look at you? What is the, you know what I'm saying? For a lot of people, the first thing they're going to see is your circumstance. The first thing they're going to see is your depression. The first thing they're going to see is your upbringing, because you don't think you wear that stuff on your face, but I promise you, you do. I have been wearing hate on my face for so doggone long. I have been wearing bitterness and insecurity. I have been wearing just a facade, right, where I'm acting like I'm better than what I truly was. I'm sure everybody at a place in my life was able to see it. But I got to a place where I finally was able to let that down, and I started to sell myself, started to promote myself. And once I started to brand myself, it was so much easier, not just for people to see me, but for people to see the God in me. Breeze, I'm going to let you get I'm going to let both of y'all get a last word. What's your last word, bro? What you want to leave the people with?
Man, just trust the process, but don't fall in love with the process. That's one thing, or not necessarily fall in love with the process. Don't attach yourself to the process. I can respect that, because, you know, it's almost like you climbing up a mountain, you know what I'm saying? And that job was a foothold, you know, to get you to the next part. And this next one is a handhold to get you to the next part, and then another foothold. So you don't necessarily get attached to it, because if you do that, you just sitting holding on to this little piece of whatever. So, man, just see the whole process through, man, and be patient.
JR, what you got, bro?
The same thing you said. Stay impatient, man. We're realizing that this thing is not going to happen overnight. You're going to have bumps along the way. You're going to have things that you wouldn't prefer to happen, but it all leads you into where you're supposed to be. Take the time, look at everything that you're going through, pull away from each individual experience, and realize what it is that experience had to teach you. And I promise you, when you get to that final goal, you'll be able to look back and say, you know what? That taught me this taught me that taught me this, and this is how I am where I am. Make sure that those experiences and who you are is truly who you say you are. That's at the end of the day, all you have to speak for is who you are. Your integrity, your character, all of that is who you are. When you pull away all of the other stuff, who is it that you truly are? At the end of the day, that's what's going to speak. That's what's going to continue to open the doors for you. Who you are and who you say you are, make sure that actually lines up. Make sure make sure who you say you are is lined up with who you really are. They got to be the same person, man.
I heard somebody say this yesterday on the podcast too. His name's Carl Phillips. He said, it's not who you think you are that destroys you. It's who you think you're not.
Right.
He said, it's not who you are that kills you and destroys your dreams. It's who you think you're not. This person you're pretending to be because you're trying to walk into something that's just not meant for you. That's what kills you. You spend so much time walking into something you're not. I walked 26 years in the field that I'm not able to join. And once I let go of that, I finally got able to press through. I'm going to get Darian on the episode, too. He can say he ain't joining all he wants. We just going to have to turn the mic up.
Turn the mic all the way up.
You feel me, bro? Darian is so doggone quiet and peaceful. His whole life is cool, calm, and collected. But, y'all, I needed some shots for a portfolio. I needed some shots for a portfolio last Sunday. So we went downtown. I told you, this city got a bunch of gems. I don't care what the media got to say about Detroit. This is one of the best cities ever. It's not up for debate. But me and D was talking, and so I'm like, bro, what did you get your degree in? Like, how long you been doing this? Did you get it in media production, broadcasting, journalism? What did you get it in? He said, I didn't go to school for this. And I'm going to let him say it on an episode, so you getting on an episode. But I was like, you ain't get your degree in this? He said, no, I went to school for something completely unrelated to this. I didn't have the money. I got my refund check. I bought a camera, and the rest was history. I'm like, bro, I swear to you, I thought that you studied this. Like, all of this dudes, y'all look him up on Instagram, Darian Pope. When you look at all of his material, when you look at the videos he do, I'm like, bro, I promise you, I thought you went to school for this. I know dudes that went to school for this that aren't anywhere near close to this. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you find a passion, that is something completely different than your profession. Your passion is completely different from your profession. Dog found a passion in this, and I'm like, yo, that right there will preach in and of itself. Just knowing that you was like, man, I got a refund check, I bought a camera, that was it.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you truly are self-made. You taught yourself how to do everything that you got. But y'all, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna end this with a prayer, close us out. God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for this podcast, for this ministry that you have called us to. I ask that you will continue to strengthen us. Help us, God, to learn how to invest in ourselves. We spend so much time investing in the others. We spend so much time making others rich. We spend so much time buying other people's brands. We spend so much time promoting other people that we don't take that time to put that same energy into ourselves. So help us to learn how to self-reflect, how to really boost ourselves, how to promote ourselves, how to encourage ourselves, and how to invest in ourselves. As Bree said earlier, help us to make our face a coupon, that when people see us, they see something that we're trying to promote, something that we're trying to sell, something that we know is real, that is authentic, and it's because of what you have placed in us. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. This has been another episode of the TSM Podcast, Season 3 coming at you. We got more coming. Stay tuned. DJ Cool Breeze, take us out, bro.